You all might have seen the Exorcist movie and may know that in that movie a ghost possessed a girl, but I'm sure you may not know that this movie is based on a real life story and the girl shown in the movie was actually a boy. I mean, the real person who was possessed by a demon was a boy. Whenever we talk about the horror movies, everyone remembers the name of this movie because this movie is not only based on real life incident but also the most horrifying movie ever created in the history. During the shooting of this movie, many actors and crew members experienced a lot of paranormal activities. The story of Exorcist is inspired by some old documents and a priest who was present there during exorcism. This case is also known as the Maryland case because this incident is from the same place. William Peter Blatty had also written a novel on this story. After some time, based on the same story, a movie was created in 1973. In the movie, it was shown that a 13-year-old girl is possessed by a spirit. It is a real incident which was held on 1949, in which a boy of the same age was possessed by a evil spirit. Why did they replace a boy by a girl in the movie? I will tell you the reason at the end of this video, so stay till the end. The boy's original name was Roland Doe. Family used to call him Robbie. One day, 52 years old Roman Catholic priest William Warden receives an unknown call. William studied in a St. Louis University and the call was from his friend whose name was Raymond Bishop. Raymond said William that he had a call from an woman who said that her son is possessed by an unknown entity. William had 26 years of experience in the same field. William heard the full incident and decided to meet the family as soon as possible. The meeting was done at the Ronald's home. Of course, they are not going to meet in a 5-star hotel in this situation. During the meeting, Ronald's mother said that her son is facing strange situations and weird incidences which they can neither get nor control it. Because of these incidences, his home had a very horrifying environment. Though Ronald was a silent and innocent boy, but the incident started to happen some days before when the Ronald aunt came to their home whose name was Mill. She came here to visit Ronald and she had bought a Ouija board with her. Aunt gave that Ouija board to Ronald and taught him how to play with it. Now I don't understand why people do this kind of things in their home. They must be insane, I guess. Now you tell me in the comment that what would you do if you have such a lovely auntie in your family. Roland's aunt stayed in their home for some days and they used to play with the same Ouija board for an hours and tries to contact with any spirits. When all these things was happening, Ronald's parents was present there and saw everything happening. Seriously, how can they let their son to use such things whose results can be very drastic and dangerous? Anyways, after playing for an hour with that Ouija board, they never came in the contact of any spirit, or they did. Tell me in the comment. 15 January 1949. In the night time, the whole family could hear the sound of dropping water from their pipe every day. Everyone thought that there might be a leakage in pipes, but they checked all the pipes next day. There were no any leakages and all the pipes were absolutely fine. Ronald family didn't care much about this incident. Then the incident started to happen in regular basis. Daily after 2 a.m. water used to drop from nowhere. 26 January. In the late night, the phone rings. The call was from their relative who said that the aunt who used to play Ouija board with Ronald is no more with us. Her death was completely mysterious and no one could solve the mystery. I think she played quite less with her Ouija board. Joke apart, the aunt who died was completely healthy and didn't have any kind of diseases. When Ronald knew about this incident, he was completely broken because she was so close to him. Now after the death of auntie, they started hearing the footsteps of someone and the dropping water simultaneously. One day, all family members saw the photo of God moving. It was frequently moving like someone is trying to make it fall down. But the incident didn't stop there. The object used to move themselves, and strange and weird noise and sound used to come out from their home. This thing had become very common for them. But one night, Ronald was sleeping. Suddenly, his bed started shaking. He was completely scared and started crying. His parents could see that but were very helpless at that time. So why they are not running out from that home? What are they waiting for? Are they waiting for something big issue to happen? You all may think the bed might be shaken because of the earthquake, but the earthquake never comes under a single bed. 6th January 1949. Suddenly, some wounds arises on the body of Ronald. The wounds have something like cuts from knife. When doctors saw those, they could not identify anything, and they said Ronald is absolutely fine and all the wounds of cuts are made by himself. Obviously, what else can be expected from the doctor in such cases? But the family of Ronald made a new and a huge mistake by playing with the same Ouija board. His whole family played with the Ouija board to contact with the same dead auntie in order to find the solution of their problem. They could not contact with any spirit of our aunt or anyone, but this action made the situation of their home more critical. Not only home, but also the Ronald's situation more critical. After all this incident, Raymond Bessop visited their home. He was the same priest who was called by William. They finally started to clean up their house for exorcism. During this process, Ronald used to scream loud and produce horrible and weird sound. The situation was far horrible than you think. William decided to remove the evil spirit from Ronald's body because he knew that he cannot resist it anymore, or he cannot handle it anymore. So both the priests started making notes for the process of exorcism. They recorded all the incident of exorcism in their note, and finally they successfully finished their mission and removed the evil spirit from the body, and they left for their home. But all these things happened, there was a planning of a spirit, because in the same night at approximately 2 a.m. evil spirit again possessed the body, and again they called the Raymond and William. Again they processed all the exorcism processes, but they could not perform any process, and nothing was working out. During his exorcism, all their neighbors knew that something is wrong in this house, which made the process more complex. Then the priest decided to shift Ronald to the hospital, where they can comfortably process all the exorcism. The hospital was owned by the friends of the priest, and it was a Catholic hospital. Both the priests believed that there might be an issue with their home, because of which Ronald is not getting well. Then they took him to the hospital and did their exorcism. This exorcism was quite different and intense because they called more priests to assist them throughout the process. B. Walter was a priest among them. He was the priest who played a very important role during the exorcism. He submitted all the documents to the Discovery to create a documentary on Ronald. He said that Ronald used to float on the air, and B. Walter saw all this happening with his own eyes. During exorcism, Ronald used to misbehave with priests, spit on them, sometimes piss on them. Once Ronald opened his hand and break the nose of the Walter, though none of the priests were ready to give up because they had to save the life of Ronald. So they continued to their exorcism processes. Once Roland asked a paper and a pen, and Ronald wrote something which shocked all of them. He wrote, "Subscribe the Mysterious Hub channel." Oh, it was just a joke. He didn't wrote like that, but he wrote, "I am a devil itself, and I will show a sign in 10 days. After reading this, priest got that they only have maximum of 10 days. So they inserted a holy soul in the Ronald's body. When the process took place, Ronald's body had two power inside him, negative and the positive one. Suddenly, a miracle happened, and something exploded in the hospital, which was very loud that everyone in the hospital heard that sound, and light went off. When the light came back, Ronald said, "I am absolutely fine now. Evil spirit left his body. The story might sound like a movie's story, so that might be the reason behind creating the movie. And after so long, priest Raymond and Willem continued to treat Ronald to make him internally fine. 19 April 1939, Roland became completely fine. Now I'm going to tell you why they casted a girl in a place of boy. Why Ronald didn't get any credit for that. The reason behind it is to hide the real identity of Ronald. He is living his happy life now, but if he was publicly exposed, it might create a lots of problem for him. And thank you for staying with us till the end of the video. If you like such video, then like this video, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon beside to never miss any latest video from Mysterious Hub. Thank you.